Hey, good morning. This is Dan Cummins, a Chevrolet Buick in Paris, Kentucky. My name is Glenn Lundy, General Manager here. Today we're going to talk about some things. We're going to try to figure out whether or not you can believe this stuff. Some of the things we're going to talk about today are just absolutely unbelievable. So we hope you're having an amazing Saturday. We're looking forward to having an amazing Saturday. Welcome. Share the feed. Everybody, can you welcome our guest today? Come. Okay, for starters, we're missing Paul this morning. Sorry we're running a little bit late. He's our AV guy, all that good stuff. But I've got a couple things we're going to go over this morning that are going to be pretty cool, I think. We're going to try to tap into some different beliefs and things like that. I'm going to tell you a little bit about history and a little bit about your story as well. So it should be super cool. For starters, we need to go over a couple reviews because we have some amazing people that work here that are doing amazing things. So Aaron says, I could not edit my last review, but I had some work done when I picked up the vehicle. There was some marks on the door handles. After I left a review, I was immediately contacted by Megan from the dealership. She was very concerned and wanted to fix the issues. Today, I brought my vehicle back in, and the issues were resolved in a matter of an hour or so. The staff is great, and our salesperson, Ashton, went above and beyond to help me. Great staff, very courteous. Everyone makes a mistake, and I'm very happy with how fast and apologetic they were. I will return and recommend this dealership to anyone looking for a vehicle. Nice job. Review. Clayton helped me find a great vehicle at a great price. We came in looking for something affordable, and he guided us in the right direction. I am very pleased with my Dan Cummins deal. If you're in the market for a new vehicle, go see my son, Matthew Isaac. Wow, that's a good review from Mama. He helped his mama find her unicorn, and he will do all he can for you. It was a pleasure working with Paul and Tim as well. I love my 2018 Tahoe. Nice job. All right. Yeah, Sandra, we're dealing with that one. I had an awesome experience. Salesman John Hanson is the best, right? Cool. Let's go to the PowerPoint. We're already running behind. Yeah, hit start. And, cool. Isn't that a cool slide right there? I like it. Power of belief. All right, we're going to go in. We're going to talk a little bit about history and a little bit about your story. You like my little play on words there? His story, your story. So we're going to go back in time just a little bit. We're going to talk about something called childbed fever. You guys ever hear this? Okay, childbed fever. Now, this was back in the late 1800s. And what was happening is 40%, okay, 40% of women that were having children, either the baby was dying or the mother was dying. 40%. Could you imagine? You're like going to the hospital. You're like, there's a thing there, almost 50-50 chance we're not going to get out of here today having this child. So they couldn't figure out what was going on. They couldn't figure out why 40% of the children, 40% of the women were dying in these hospitals. This was all over North America, all over Europe. It was spreading rampant, and they couldn't quite figure it out. Well, this guy right here, Ignaz Semmelweis, I guess is how you say his last name. This guy noticed all of the doctors were going from the morgue where they were doing autopsies straight up into the labor rooms, right? And then they were going in there and delivering these babies. So this gentleman here, Mr. Ignaz, said, hey guys, maybe the problem is us. Maybe the problem is we're spreading germs on our hands from dead bodies to live people, and that's what's killing them, right? So he suggested that doctors wash their hands in between going from dead cadavers to new life, right? Well, the doctors said no. They said, you're crazy. It has nothing to do with that. Because there were some other medical beliefs at that time that you weren't supposed to use chlorine on your hands, which is what they had back then to sanitize. And so their belief was, no, they're not going to do it. And so they refused to wash their hands. And women and babies kept dying and dying and dying. And this gentleman, this poor guy right here, Ignaz, who was a massive germaphobe, ultimately he ended up dying in a mental facility because he couldn't get anybody to understand that they were spreading germs by not washing their hands. The belief was so tight in the medical field. Well, ultimately, luckily for all of us, right, times changed. They started to realize that if they washed their hands, the risk of death went down drastically. And now, of course, you see the doctors and they're getting all sanitized and cleaned up as they go from patient to patient to patient, right? So that was a crazy belief back then that they had. It was just set in their mind, and it was very hard for anybody to change it. Interesting story. Now, here's another belief that they had prior to 1980. They used to believe that babies, because their brains were undeveloped, could not feel pain, okay? They could not feel pain. So I don't know if you can see what they're doing in that picture there. All right, but let me ask you a question. If you had a circumcision before 1980, raise your hand. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Don't raise your hand. I don't want to see that image right now. All right? I don't need that visual on a Saturday morning. All right, but basically surgeries, any of that stuff that they were doing to babies before 1980 was with no anesthesia. Okay. Now, most of you younger people in this room didn't have to necessarily deal with that. But some of us older guys leaning on the back walls over there, we did, right? Okay, but this was the belief. The brain was undeveloped. They couldn't feel pain, so there was no point in anesthesia, and they would do surgery on these kids. And it wasn't until somebody finally tested, and they tested hundreds of kids, and they tested pain tolerances and responses from children and from babies and so on and so forth, and they finally realized that babies can feel pain, okay? And this was just 37 years ago, right? Isn't that ridiculous? But that was the belief. That's what everybody believed in, and you weren't going to tell them anything different. Crazy, right? Okay. Now, there also was a belief in the late 1800s, okay? There was a very, very, very strong belief that the bigger your head was, the smarter you were. All right, plain and simple. That was the belief. That was the standard. It was in the textbooks. That's what everyone believed. Based on that right there, Zach Toomey would be the smartest guy in the room, right? He's got that. Look at that mug shot, bro. Over here. His poor mom. But that was the belief. And they actually used to do tests back then. They would grab people and they put their hands on their heads and they would feel around and they would measure in all these different sizes. And they would try to predict how successful someone would be based on the size of their head. And that was the common belief back in the late 1800s. All right, the reason we're talking about all this stuff is I want you to understand that the mind is a truly powerful tool, and what you believe to be true actually becomes reality. It becomes even more reality when a whole group of people believe it to be true, like the entire medical field, right? Believes it to be true, or different people in different periods of time. It becomes reality. So that's what I want to talk about a little bit this morning. Okay. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." As soon as you realize this, you will find strength. As soon as you realize this, okay, this is the most powerful tool. This is the thing we can control. We can't control any other outside events. We just can't. Things are going to happen. Things are going to happen to us and around us. But how we react to them, how we respond to them, is probably the single most important thing that we can learn in life. You've seen people that can't control themselves in certain situations, right? They fly off the handle. Something happens. You talk to them all the time, don't you? You talk to some customers that feel maybe victimized, or they feel like the world is against them. Have you ever felt that way? I know I've felt that way, but it's all up here. And that's what we're going to dive into a little bit today. So first of all, I want everyone to stand up, please. Stand up, and I need you to spread out just a little bit where you have room to do this. I need you to have room to do this without hitting anybody, okay? Now I'm going to try this. I've never done this before, but my friend Mike Phillips showed me this, and I thought it was pretty cool, so I'm going to share it with you guys. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to stand with your arms like this, and then I'm going to have you spin back, and then I want you to look down, turn your hand like it's a gun, okay? Point your hand like it's a gun. I want you to look straight down that line on your arm. Look straight down that line. Whatever your fingers are pointing at, I want you to just memorize that image, okay? Just look around that image of what your fingers are pointing at, all right? Memorize it. Okay, and then I want everybody to come back up. Once you've got it memorized, I want you to come back up to right here, okay? Now here's what we're going to do, and I'm going to be watching every single one of you, so no cheating, okay? Now I'm going to have you close your eyes. I'm going to have you close your eyes, and I'm going to instruct you through a couple steps, Okay, so everybody keep your arms out like this. And now what I want you to do is I want you to close your eyes, and without moving your arms, do not move your arms. I want you to visualize that exact same motion. Close your eyes and visualize what you just did. Close them, close them, close them. Visualize what you did, and you can see your hand, and at the end of your hand, right, you can see what you're pointing at. You remember that image because you have it memorized from before, right? Okay, keep your eyes closed. Now I want you to come back in your head. I want you to come back to right where you were, okay? Is everybody with me? Don't move your arms. Come back right where you were. Okay, here's what I want you to do this time. This time I want you to start to spin around, go back to that spot. No, don't do it with your body. Do it in your mind. Do it in your mind. Do it in your mind. Don't do it in your body. Okay, just do it in your mind. Start to spin around, and now I want you to get to that spot, and I want you to go further. Okay, keep spinning past that spot. Keep going a little bit further, a little bit further. Okay, now come back around to straight, back around to straight. Okay, we're all back around to straight. Now keep your eyes closed, don't move your body. We're gonna do this one more time, except for this time, when you spin around in your mind, I want you to spin past that spot, past that last spot. I want you to twist your body all the way around, kind of like you're Elastic Man. You're almost coming all the way around like an owl's head, and your body's spinning all the way around. You got that image? Got that image? Okay, snap back to front, snap back to front. Okay, now I want you to open your eyes. I want you to open your eyes, and now I want you to do it again, and do it this time in reality. Move your body as far as you can, all right? Now look down at the end of your arm. You should be pointed way further than you were last time, right? Way further than you were last time, right? Go ahead and have a seat, all right? Now, why are we pointing so much further this time? The first time we went back as far as we could. What's that? So the first time we went back as far as we could, but yet after a little bit of coaching, and after a little bit of visualization, and after seeing it in our minds, we're able to go so much further when we do it in reality, right? This powerful tool. I lost my slide too. Okay? Right, so keep that. Remember that right there. How much further you can push yourself with a little visualization, take it over the mind, and a little coaching, right? You just need a little coaching sometimes. You got to push you a little bit. Right? So, look it up. You are your only limitation. Biggest thing that you just away from today's meeting. You are truly your only limitation. Wherever you're at in life right now, that's as far as you have pushed yourself to go. No one is holding you there. No one is keeping you there. No one is going to keep you there. If you're a 20-car guy, it's because you are limiting yourself at 20, 25, 30, wherever you're at in your career. That is your personal limitation mentally. Check it out. All right, here's a battle. There's a battle going on in your mind all the time. All right, this may be some of these things you might believe. You might believe when you're down there with your customers, you might have it in your head that they're not going to buy today. You might have it in your head that you'll never be as good as one of the other salespeople in the room. You might have it in your head that the customer is unreasonable. You might have it in your head that you're tired and you'll do it later. Let me ask you a question. Does anybody in here have something that they were supposed to do maybe 3 or 4 days ago, and you said, I'll do it later, and you still haven't done it? Anybody? I know I got a few of those things, right? I got a few. I was supposed to book a hotel. I'm going to Arizona in 2 weekends. I still haven't even booked all my stuff. Right? I was supposed to do it. I keep saying, I'll just do it later. I'll do it later. We never do that stuff later, right? You might believe that there's no way to get this done. There's no way to get it done. I can't get it approved. It's not going to happen. You might believe that the customer's expectations are too high. You might believe that their credit isn't good enough. You might believe they don't have a cosigner. You might believe they don't have any money down. You might believe that they will only buy the car that they came in on. The only one. They're not going to buy a car out of all the other 1,500 out there. You might believe these things. Now, you might be with a customer, and the customer, you have to understand, they have a battle going on in their mind too, right? They've got minds just like we've got minds. Some got bigger heads, some got smaller heads, right? So their beliefs, they might believe that you only want their money. They might believe that they can get a better deal elsewhere. They might believe before they ever even met you that you're a crook, right? Because our industry has such a negative stigma associated with it. They might believe that you don't care about them. They might believe that they're going to make a mistake. They might be afraid that they're going to make a mistake. They might believe that they're not allowed to show you that they love the vehicle or that they love the deal. They might believe that they can get more for their trade. They might believe that you can come down more on that price. They might believe it's going to take forever. They might believe they're just another number. We have all these things going on in our minds, and they have all these things going on in their minds. And that's the battle that you've got when you're down there on the floor. And I want to help you get through that. I want to make sure that you recognize your customers have all of these thoughts. These are their thoughts. It might not be what they're telling you. They might just be telling you, oh, well, I need to think about it, when really it's one of these. Or they might be telling you, no, that payment's too high, or no, I'm not interested, when it really might just be one of these. So you got to put yourself in their shoes. You got to understand that your customer's going through this battle as well. They might be just afraid that they're going to make a mistake. And you might just need to reassure them that this is the best place to buy a car, and that what the deal that you have in front of them is the right deal. Might just take some reassurance. So here's the reality. Okay, those are the myths. Those are the beliefs. That's the childbed fever and the babies don't feel no pain and bigger heads are smarter. Those are old. Those are just the beliefs. They're not the reality. Here's the reality. You are a trained professional with the ability to offer an experience far beyond that of your competition. You are simply the best of the best. Simple as that. That is the reality of the situation. If you are on this team right here in this store that has grown 800% in the last 7 years, that has 1,500 cars in inventory, that has a guy, an owner of the dealership, who sits here with a team of 4 people. I say he sits here 12 hours a day, but in reality, if he's not asleep, he's working on inventory, he's working on pricing, he's making sure we're the best. You guys have seen him. It's all he does between beating Ashton at darts every once in a while. He's just pricing cars, right? So we have the best prices in the market, the best inventory in the market. We have the best dealership in the market, and most importantly, we have the best people, hands down, period, in the industry. You guys get trained every single day. You're trained every single day. You guys are freaking pros, man. What do you think about when you think of a pro? Well, when I think of pros, like a pro basketball player or a pro NFL guy or a pro golfer, what do I think? I think, man, those guys just train every day, right? They just get their reps in every single day, every day. You know, Kobe Bryant used to shoot 100 shots every day, right? 100 shots every single day, every day. That's what you guys are doing every single day. We're training in this place. So this is the reality of the situation. Don't let all of those beliefs that are in your head, don't let them become your reality, because they're not real. And don't let anything that customer is telling you down there, or that customer might have thoughts in their head, that's not reality either. This is the reality of the situation. All right, the incoming Chevrolet Buick is the best place to buy a vehicle. We just kind of touched on that. And we have the best people, plain and simple. That's the reality. All right, so that slide should not go there. Okay, all right, so here's what I need you to go out there today and understand. Every single person that you talk to today, every single customer that you talk to on the phone, every single customer that you talk to in person, every single lead from the BDC, every single one of them is going to buy a car. Every single one of them, I promise. They're going to buy a car. Now, either they're going to buy that car from you, or they're going to buy it from somewhere else, but they're going to buy a car. Maybe they don't buy that car today. Maybe they buy a car next week. But they're going to buy a car, I promise. That customer that can't get bought, that's a 450 score, that's $8,000 upside down, they're going to buy a car. They're going to find a way. They're going to get a cosigner. They're going to get some money down. They're going to take a loan out. They're going to leverage this. They're going to do whatever they got to do. And at some point, they're going to buy a car. Raise your hand if you bought a car in this room, ever in your life. Raise your hand. Okay. 100% of the people in this room have bought a car, right? That's what you've got. 100% of the customers walking through this door have bought a car or are going to buy a car at some point in their life. Where should they buy it? At the best place there is, right? That's the reality of the situation. They should buy it at the best place. At the best place with the what? The best people. So today, my expectation from you is to change these beliefs you have in your head. Quit talking yourself out of deals, and don't let a customer talk you out of a deal, because it's not real. It's not reality. It's not hand washing. It's that belief, those stigmas that just simply aren't real. You guys can go so much further, man. So much further if you don't talk yourself out of it. You can go so much further with a little coaching. You can go so much further with just visualization, man. When I was on the sales floor and I was talking to a customer, that deal was done. It was done. When I went up to the desk to get a pencil, I didn't bring them first name, last name, and a phone number. I brought them a bundle, a complete bundle. Full name, address, give me your insurance card, give me your driver's license, let me get your payoff, let me make that phone call. It was done. Okay, sales manager, here's my bundle. I've got a deal. Can you give me a pencil? Because in my mind, it was done. They were buying a car. They were either buying it from me or they were buying it somewhere else, but they were buying a car. So when you come with the bundle, when you come with that belief and you understand you're at the best place with the best inventory, with the best warranties, with the best people, that's how you go a little bit further. With me? If you're with me, stand up. And I made sure to type this up for my new guys now so they can join us. So I expect to hear the new guys even louder than my old guys. Right? Because I am on a mission to eradicate the negative stigmas associated with the car business. I can do this by making people feel special, feel important, feel like they're the only ones. I will offer an experience that will exceed my customers' expectations today, tomorrow, and in the future. I will not just sell cars. I will create fans. Let's have a massive day today. We've got tons of appointments out there. It's going to be phenomenal. I got an appointment at 9 o'clock. They should be here any minute. Oh, look. All right, guys. Have a big day. Hey, thanks for tuning in, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Thanks to my man, Mike Phillips. I got to thank him because I had never seen the little waist turn thingy. So hope that went well. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Barbara says no sound. Yeah, you guys probably had a tough time with sound. We hooked up a new mic. I don't have my normal AV guy. But anyways, have an awesome Saturday. Share the feed. Come see us. If you need to buy a car, if you know somebody that needs to buy a car, go to Dan Cummins Chevrolet in Buick in Paris, Kentucky. The absolute best place to buy a car. I promise we'll take care of you.